City Hall Commons application. One, which is listed, was the resub will be a 0 lot line resub. And the second, which I think we just forgot to type, the rest of the sentence, is that we will change number 5 in our recommendations from the staff. The affordability requirement shall be in effect for the term of the regulatory agreement, which is what we did in compliance with our text amendment, whenever that was, a month ago.
So those were two changes in addition to the staff recommendations for conditions for that particular application.
Good.
I think we're good on that one. And Barry, did you have?
Yeah, two other ones, relatively minor but important words. We don't really, I don't at least, check for spelling on words throughout, but important words, they do catch my eye. So on page 7 in the third paragraph down refers to Commissioner Murphy asked for confirmation of the word is house. It would be open until Monday, Friday to 8 a.m. That should be hours. It was a discussion about the hours of operation. And the second item is on page 18. Page 18 go. There is a reference to Mark Caitlin that actually should be Mark Cass in that discussion. It's on page 18.
16 maybe?
16, yeah, sorry. Correct. Written down wrong. It's in the third paragraph, or the third sentence, as the case may be. It starts out, Mr. Mark Caitlin spoke in favor of the application. That should be Mark Cass.
Great, thank you. Any further corrections for the minutes from December 1? So we have those, and with those corrections noted, is there a motion for action on the corrected minutes?
Move approval of the amendments, the minutes as corrected.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion on this motion? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Minutes from December 1st are approved. Before I offer a little background on our public hearing process, I think there's a little update to the agenda, and could a couple of items we will not be taking up this evening. Jay, could you just maybe mention those changes, so if anyone's here for those, they might want to not wait for the whole meeting?
Yes, the first one is an off-premise sign application. It's postponed by the applicant. This is project AS-25-03. Again, this is for a billboard at 617 North Gaddis Street. That is postponed for this evening, if anyone is here for that. The second item that's postponed for this evening is a new business item at 201 South Krause Ave, the apartment project. That is postponed for the re-subdivision and the site plan review, pending revisions and design element changes with the Landmark Preservation Board. Once the Landmark Preservation Board is complete, we'll bring it back to this body for a review and decision.
Thank you. And next, we'll begin our meeting with old business, and just by way of reference for those not familiar with our process, as each application is announced, we ask that the applicant or their representative come to the podium, provide their name and address for the record, and then a brief summary of the application. And following questions from the commission members, we will then offer an opportunity for the public who wish to speak in favor of the application to do that, and an opportunity for those who wish to speak in opposition to the application to do that as well. In all cases, we simply ask that you provide your name and address for the record, and then limit your comments to 3 minutes. Where comments are offered in opposition, we will afford the applicant an opportunity to address to the commission the comments made in opposition. So with that, I think we're ready for our first application this evening.
Yes, first up under old business is a special use permit, SP-25-30, located at 4400 South Salina Street in West Glen. This is owned by 4400 South Salina Street LLC. Applicant is Dave Colgrove. This is in the MX1 zone district.
Hi, I'm Dave Colgrove from Labella Architect. Did you want me to present the project again? We did the...
That's probably not necessary.
Okay. So
Yeah,
if there are any just...
What I can, just for the record, what I can explain to the board is, what we wanted to make sure is that the record was accurate and fully complete, and that your decision was based on that. So I've explained to the owner what we were missing in the staff report. All of that is now added for us to make a correct decision based on the finding of facts and everything in the staff report. So that's essentially what this is, and we did not do seeker last time, so we would have to do that to make a decision. The only other update I have, and I believe public comment period was closed, but we did receive a letter in opposition. I think, is that distributed? Do you have copies of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it.
That's it? That's all I have?
Okay, and so then from the applicant's perspective, no change from what was presented the previous meeting,
Correct.
correct? Okay.
Correct.
Any questions of the applicant by the commission members at this stage?
I guess the question I have, lingering question from last time, and it was addressed in the public comments, is there's some concern about the parking situation and the driveway situation, curb cuts, et cetera. And so we do have two conditions that would be added to address the curb cut and the driveway situation. And those two conditions would be the applicant should evaluate if 3 curb cuts are necessary for their lot circulation. Typical sites utilize 1 or possibly 2 under certain circumstances. And the other condition that refers to the parking and driveway situation, the one-way drive aisle parallel with Glen Avenue West should have corresponding one-way entry exits shown as 2 bidirectional openings, utilizing narrow curb cuts to help the channelization and vehicle flow through the lot for procession events. And the other question that is related to that has been raised is just in terms of the parking that's going to be available when you have a funeral that has a larger collection of congregants. And so some clarification about what you anticipate how that would be handled with respect to the parking situation, because there's concern about whether there's enough parking. I mean, if you have a funeral where there's going to be 150 people there, that's a lot of parking for the area, and how is that going to be accommodated? What are your expectations for that?
Right. Generally speaking, I don't think there will be crowds that large, anywhere near that large. Generally, these ceremonies are fairly small. It's not typical that what I've seen with a typical Christian burial where it's a long receiving line, or basically but for the most part, there is space next door. I know the owner has a relationship with the neighbor next door if they need extra parking. It's not a parking lot that's generally used for the hotel. It's not a hotel actually, not currently being used as a hotel. It's not a formal relationship necessarily, but their properties are so tightly intertwined that it's hard not to have a relationship with the owner. I mean, their sign is actually on the adjacent, the sign that represents this building is actually on the adjacent property. It's kind of an odd situation. And the parking lots are absolutely connected.
Right.
But we've put every bit of parking we could put on there. I know when the previous tenant was there, it looked like a lot of asphalt, and there was probably a lot of area to park, but when you actually try to stripe out an aisle and parking spaces, what we have on there is pretty much what you could get out of it, even when it was per sales, when it's operating as a paint business.
Right. Okay. So, and I guess last time we did have some discussion about this, but I'm not sure, maybe we clarify. This is not just going to be Muslim funerals. It could be Christian funerals or any denomination or, non-religious, or is it specific? Because when you mention small crowds, that's...
Small crowds generally, but it's by the Muslim more like the Muslim burial preparation, the Muslim.
Right.
It's all something that happens fairly quickly. I think initially will be primarily a Muslim funeral home.
Primarily, okay.
Yeah, yes. So it's suited for that type of
Right, I understand.
burial process where it's
Okay.
something that happens within a span of 24 hours, and it's a small ceremony before
Okay.
they move out of the building to
Okay,
go
thank
to
you.
the mosque or the cemetery. So,
Thank you.
Additional questions for the applicant? Okay, I guess we're set. Thank you.
okay. Well, there I did notice there, so we didn't, should we have received one of the letters? If there's a,
Oh, the letter in opposition I'm
letter in
mentioning?
opposition, yeah.
Um, Technically, since the public comment period was closed, I'm trying to just put out the facts that we received this. But I'm not sure if you were copied on it. We can give you a copy.
Okay, okay,
By and large, are the same things that she raised at the hearing.
okay.
There's
Yeah,
just more detail about the parking situation in the
And,
proximity. in the
and
area.
the curb cuts. Okay, yeah, and that's something we were anticipating needing to work out with DPW,
Right.
right, yeah.
Yeah, we understand some of that gets worked out through the permitting process, not necessarily right here.
Okay.
So is there, before you leave the podium, is there an openness to changing the number of curb cuts potentially?
Well, I have to talk with the owner, and we have to talk with them to see what they're actually, I think we need to get two ways into the back portion of the lot where where they have an existing overhead door. The Salina Street one, the curb cut is actually the one that was actually the only actual legit curb cut, as far as I can tell, on the property. It's the only one we could find actually curbs in that location. The other curb cut onto Glen is something we'll just have to discuss with them and say, okay, maybe that could be one way coming out of there, if need be, if that helps something. But that's something I'd like to discuss more with DPW to make sure we're actually getting on the same page before we're committing to something. I'm not sure if that actually solves what their concerns are. There are some, I mean, it is difficult getting in and out of there any way you look at it, just because of the offset streets. Even if you're just coming down Glen Ave, it takes a while to get out of there sometimes. So there is some concern about that, but I don't necessarily know that it's particularly, I think our lot is just in a tough spot, any way you look at it, to get off of that site. So, but yeah, there's openness, and we're going to talk with DPW and see what they think would alleviate their concerns. So,
Thank you. So with the public comment closed, we should now address the environmental review.
Has everyone had a chance to review the EAF Part 1 contained in your packet?
Yes.
And has everyone reviewed the EAF Part 2, also contained in your packet and prepared by staff?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone believe there'll be any moderate to large impacts under SECRA? Having determined that there will be 0 moderate to large impacts, I recommend that the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the Part 3 EAF accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect for secret purposes?
Make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration?
Discussion on the seeker motion? If not, all in favor of that motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Seeker motion carries. Is there a motion now for the special use permit recommendation that will go to the Common Council?
Sure. I make a motion that finds the application in compliance with special use permit criteria in section 5.4B, 7A through H, and recommend approval by the Common Council with 6 special conditions beyond the general conditions for special use permits. Those 6 special conditions are: 1, the applicant shall obtain necessary approval before commencing the work on the site in the public right-of-way. 2, the applicant should evaluate if 3 curb cuts are necessary for their lot circulation. Typical sites usually utilize 1 or possibly 2 under certain circumstances. 3, the one-way drive aisle parallel with Glen Avenue West should have corresponding one-way entry and exit shown as 2 bifurcated openings, utilizing narrow curb cuts to help with channelization and vehicle flow through the procession of events. And 4, the applicant shall provide at least 5 bike parking spaces on the property. 5, the proposed commercial business hours shall not use amplified speakers to project music outside and shall control any speaker volume inside so as not to violate the city's local noise ordinance. And 6, the proposed commercial business must strictly adhere to operation hours which are deemed appropriate and approved by the Common Council. And just to remind everybody, this is a special use permit, so ours action is a recommendation to the Common Council for approval.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Thanks. Now discussion on the motion before us for the special use permit. I want to comment on the condition that pertains to the parking and the curb cuts, or maybe more the curb cuts than the parking. I can accept the wording of the condition, and I'm hopeful that the applicant will take it really seriously. I am concerned about, it's a relatively small lot and 2 points of entry onto Salina Street, probably only 50 feet apart, I think could be problematic during periods of time when the traffic on Salina Street is at peak or even below peak, but still considerably more than what would be on Glen Ave. So I'm encouraging the applicant to take that condition very seriously and look for means, if possible, to reduce it to 2 curb cuts. I think that would make a safer intersection at that area. That's my comment on one of the conditions, but I encourage my colleagues to weigh in with anything else that might be relevant in terms of the motion now before us.
Thank you.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, now we're good.
Now we're good.
Now we're really good. Thank you. All right. If there's no further discussion on this motion for the special use permit, all in favor of that motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? That motion carries, and the recommendation, as noted earlier, will move to the Common Council for a final decision. Thank you. Our next item, please.
Again, the 201 South Cross is postponed, so if you're following on the agenda, we are now to the re-subdivision R25-59 at 416 Grant Boulevard. This is Sky Shop City LLC is the owner. This is in the CM Zone District.
Hi, good evening. Pat Reynolds with IN Newsing Romans Land Surveying, representing the applicant. Address is 5251 Witts Drive in North Syracuse. So what we're looking to do is just subdivide this existing parcel into 2. Essentially just want to cut out the parcel for McDonald's, give them their own little thing. And they are currently working on a reciprocal easement agreement for the access to the parcel. At the time of the meeting, they haven't had anything firmed up that they were willing to share with that, so.
Well, I guess that was going to be something that I was going to recommend to the board, or maybe you can answer. If this were to go through and you were to finalize this, it would essentially eliminate your legal access in and out, right? So I don't know. Is there?
I mean, as far as I can tell, there's no intent to ever have a landlocked or inaccessible parcel.
No, and they are, the applicant is working with the McDonald's Corporation on that It's just, I guess what they were thinking their time frame for it wasn't necessarily to get something in place before the meeting. So it was brought to my attention last week, we might want to have an answer for that. When I reached out to them, they just said it was in progress, but they didn't have a draft that was worthy of sharing yet. I tried to get something before tonight, and unfortunately,
So is the property owned by McDonald's Corporation, or is it an independent owner that's just operating the franchise? Who do you need to make the easement with?
I'm not sure who's running the McDonald's, if it's franchisee, if it's McDonald's. I was told that they're working out an agreement with the McDonald's Corporation. As far as the property itself is owned by a third party, and they're just leasing everything to the ones operating the McDonald's.
Okay. So will the easement be with a third party or with McDonald's Corporation, or is
I
that
guess-
part of what the problem is in working it out?
So I'm not in conversations as far as what the reciprocal easement's going to be.
Right.
The reciprocal easement would be for the property owner that currently owns everything and is going to control the ingress and egress.
Right.
And then whoever it is that is operating the McDonald's and is going to receive that new parcel, whoever that's going to be conveyed to, it's going to be between those two owners as far as that goes.
We wouldn't normally knowingly approve an inaccessible landlocked parcel.
Yep,
really.
that's understandable.
So I,
And as optimistic as one might want to be about the success of negotiations, sometimes they don't turn out as successfully as you might wish them to. And that could leave the applicant in an even more challenging predicament.
Yep.
And unless legal counsel advises otherwise, it seems as though we might want to hold this until we,
I would advise you to hold it until they have the easement document. I know there's conditions in the staff report, but you're otherwise creating an illegal parcel.
Right.
That's my advice.
yeah,
okay, well,
We-
that's probably not good.
no. So,
Well, let's see what Jake's doing.
that could be,
Is there some sort of time constraint with this, like that you're aware of, or anything pressing? Like, why not get that in place? And do you know?
I mean, I would imagine they're looking to get the deal settled sooner than later. Like I said, I really had wished that I would have got something to bring to you all, even before tonight.
Sure.
I know we were getting some pressure just to get the survey done and the application in, but outside of that, I don't know what their time frame is, what their deal is that they have going on.
I think that I would consider a 30-day approval that is conditioned on the easement being negotiated and filed, or ready to file. And if that's not possible, then going back to the zoning staff and administrator for whatever remedy is appropriate based on the condition. What do we think of that?
sounds workable.
Okay.
If that meets corporate counsel's concern.
Yep, I think that's fine. I think a conditional approval, giving them a sunset essentially to get their documents in. Otherwise, they will come back. approval will expire, so you might say that in the motion, that the approval expires in 30 days unless the easement documents have been submitted to staff for review.
You followed that?
I think that's fair.
Okay with
We
that?
have a workaround, I think, given the circumstances, so. Okay, well, let's proceed then and ask our applicant if we have any questions. Let's ask the applicant now. Were there additional questions beyond easement
No, I'm good.
status?
No additional questions.
Okay, thank you. So now we'll see if there are any individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application. If so, please come forward to the podium, provide your name and address and your comments. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to the application? If so, please come forward. We have no speakers, it would seem, so we will close public comment on this application and turn our attention to our environmental review.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the EAF Part 1 contained in your packet?
Yes.
Has everyone reviewed the EAF Part 2 contained in your packet?
Yes.
Does anyone believe there'll be a moderate to large impact under SECRA due to this action?
No.
Okay, having determined that there will not be a moderate to large impact under SECRA, I recommend the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the Part 3 EAF accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect for our seeker review?
I make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the seeker motion. If there's no discussion, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeker motion carries, and we now turn to the re-subdivision itself. And is there someone willing to offer language for a motion that navigates the circumstances before us tonight?
I'll take a shot at it.
Thank you.
Make a motion to conditionally approve R-25-59 with the condition that upon complete, that the reciprocal easement agreement will be completed within 30 days of today's date. And beyond that condition, we have the condition also that the applicant shall successfully file the re-subdivision map of R-25-59 in the Onondaga County Clerk's office within 62 days of the re-subdivision approval, which is today, plus also filing the easement agreement, which must be completed within 30 days.
Thank you.
Did that work?
Is there a second?
Second.
Before we begin our discussion, I just wanted to ask legal counsel if you caught the wording of that. Did that seem to be adequate in terms of what we just discussed earlier with the various conditions that Commissioner Lentz outlined? 30,
Yes.
Okay, 30 days, the approval expiring within 30 days of today's meeting. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Discussion on the motion before us now.
Thank you.
Okay, with no discussion, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Re-subdivision is approved with the conditions noted. And we move apparently to our last item.
Yes. Last item is a zoning map amendment, Z-29-16. This is at 153-55 Phage Ave in the R2 zone district.
Good evening, I'm Terry Luckett from the Syracuse Land Bank, 1941 South Salina Street. Our vacant lot in yellow there is zoned R3. It's irregularly shaped. It's 49 feet wide in the front and 69 feet in the back. We'd like to sell a triangular portion to the neighbors next door at 159 Phage. That'll square off their lot. Their lot is zoned R2. So I'm here today to request that a zone change of 153-55 Phage to be rezoned from R2 to R3 to facilitate that re-subdivision.
So if I may, there's a companion lot alteration. Take the square that encompasses both of those parcels, make a more perpendicular line down the middle, and it basically
Consistent with the
creates
rest of the block.
somewhat equal two lots,
Yeah.
and then make them both R3. If that helps explain what's happening here.
Yeah, a question for the zoning administrator. If you go back far enough in your knowledge, that area has all these weird property lines. Lots of property lines
Yeah.
at weird angles. It just-
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Actually, it's hard to tell. Maybe you know. It even looks like a portion of the triangular lot may go into the backyard of the house right now. Do you know?
Portion of the triangle?
Yeah, or what? Not triangular,
Their
but
fence runs along,
Oh,
the owners are here.
yeah,
Their
it doesn't
fence runs
encroach
along
onto
the-
it
I-
currently.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, either way, yeah. I'm not to answer your question. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
it's
why.
the curiosity question, not make
I-
or break it.
I don't know.
It's just weird looking at the map in that area.
Yeah, you wonder if there had been a previous re-subdivision that gave that
Yeah, it almost
line
looks
an angle.
Maybe
and
there was a garage there or something at one point in time that,
Everything
Right.
else on the block seems to be parallel and perpendicular.
I agree, it's weird. We're fixing it.
That's right.
Any questions for the applicant? Good. Good, Barry.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, thank you very much, Terry.
Thank you.
Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come to the podium, provide your name, address, and your comments.
My name is Supremus Bay, it's my wife, Jolanda Smith Bay. We own that property at 159, 161 Phage Ave. And we just, like is listed on the application, we'd like to expand it, for obvious reasons that he brought up. Everything else out there is kind of either square or rectangular, not triangular. And we have-
Trapezoid.
And we have a chain link fence that's there, that goes this way. So naturally, we like to square it off and, expand it, fence it in, makes the neighborhood look nice, and it keeps trespassing down. Right. Absolutely, so, and that's pretty much it. I guess the other question, I don't know if you guys are able to ask it, or it's a little different, how, or gotta be asked, if we're awarded the property, how does it affect the taxes as far as the current property? Once it's added on, I know it's gonna be some effects, but.
I don't think we're well equipped to address taxes at this point.
Okay, I figured that, but. All right, that's
Wish we
it.
could answer that, but
Worth a shot to ask.
All right, thank you.
She gives good advice. Are there other individuals who wish to speak in favor of the application? Please come forward. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application? Please come to the podium. I don't think we have any additional speakers for this, so we'll close the public comment on this application. Turn our attention to our seeker review.
Has everyone reviewed the EAF Part 1 contained in your packet?
yes,
Has everyone reviewed the EAF Part 2 also contained in your packet?
yes.
Does anyone believe there'll be a moderate to large impact under SECRA due to this action?
No,
Having determined that there will not be a moderate to large impact under SECRA, I recommend the commission make a negative declaration and prepare the Part 3 EAF accordingly.
Thank you. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to issue a negative seeker declaration?
Second?
Discussion on the seeker motion? If there's no discussion, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? So the seeker motion carries. And we may now entertain a motion for the zoning map amendment. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to approve Z-2916 with an affirmative recommendation to the Common Council for approval. This being a zoning map amendment requires Common Council approval, so we just recommend that action. And there's one special condition attached, that being the applicant shall successfully file maps at Onondaga County Clerk's Office of the companion lot alteration application R-25-53 within 62 days after the zoning administrator makes the approval. The zoning administrator cannot make the approval until after the Common Council acts.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks. Discussion on this motion. As noted, the action by this body tonight is a recommendation. The Common Council will make the final determination. Further discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? The zoning map amendment recommendation is approved by this body. It will go to the Common Council for a final determination. So thank you. Is there anything further to come before the commission this evening?
That is it for 2025.
Wow, it was a great year. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We are.